Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome back to Rising World. This is episode number 4, and this is the episode that I've got something a little fun, something a little different to show you guys. So I'm going to get right to it because I've mentioned it before, and I'm sure you were all awaiting in eager anticipation. So anyway, let's get to it. I basically, there's an element of the game that allows you to import custom graphics. So what I did was I went and made a security camera, sort of, right? That's kind of what it looks like, and it's on a wood post for whatever reason. But essentially I made the graphics for the right side, the left side of it. I did one for the bottom, for the top, for the back, and for the front here. So I've got this security camera. The graphics, once kind of sized right, they hang down a bit from the block I was putting them on. And when you look up close there's some gaps and everything. It doesn't quite place those exactly where you place them. It puts them close, but that's about as good as I could get it. So our bunker has a security camera keeping watch, and there's a little bit more to it. So let's kind of go down in here, see what I'm talking about. Because what would a security camera be good for if you couldn't monitor everything? And obviously I had some difficulty getting in here. Trying to get down the steps here. So what I did was, there you go, we got Weem Security. So this is a shot from up where we were. I just took a screenshot essentially, and I made this trim for a TV, threw the light on there as if it were recording, like these happen anymore. So we've got the name in there and everything. But there we go. So we have our our security camera footage of the bunker from the top. So this is a really cool feature in the game. I actually don't have any more on me right now. I could go make them, but you can make a poster, and then when you go to use it, it asks you to choose an image. You can upload them. Really cool stuff, especially for somebody like me who does graphic work as a full-time job anyway. There's lots of stuff I could do that, and I have a lot more planned. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, with that in mind, I'd like to address a comment that was made by Action Jeans, and I thought I would bring his comment in here. There you go, Action Jeans. He said, "You should see what the caution tape block looks like as a trim around the walkway. I think it was under the metal blocks." And you can see the text doesn't quite come through perfectly, but anyway, there you go. I brought your comment in here, Action Jeans, so let's address that. Now, I've got the panels here. I kind of did some experimentation. There was these two tapes, one with the metal pattern on it and one without. I'm kind of leaning towards doing it with, because then it's all uniform. This doesn't look bad on this side, but it is a little bit more abrupt, versus this looks like it had tape put down. It's maybe been walked on. So anyway, I'm kind of thinking about going that route, so that is going to be one of the things we work on today. Now, I also want to talk about a comment that Gelmaron, if I'm pronouncing the name right, mentioned. You can see I stuck his comment on some blocks here, and he gave me a comment about a tips and trick video that he did. You could definitely check out his channel if you want to see some tips and tricks about Rising World, but it's mostly this bottom comment I'm concerned with here, that additionally the rooms look odd with great looking concrete ceilings, cool looking metal floors, but no support columns. And I absolutely agree. So that is something else we will be working on today as well. So we're going to fix the trim around here with this hazard strip, or at least I think I'll at least bring it up to maybe this block here, and then leave it as normal for the room so that we kind of got the pathways separated. I think that could look cool, something along those lines. We can actually do this now because I haven't tried this yet. So kind of bring it up to the room. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. And we can go hallways with the strip. Now, one of the things I consider too is if you had a whole bunch of hallways, it would be really cool to maybe do them differently. Or maybe we could do a block along the wall or something, so there could be like a red wing and a blue wing, or something like that. So that if you were to come down and get turned around, you kind of had, you know, some kind of guide as to where you're going. But one of the first things that I want to work on is going to be the floor pattern. So let's go ahead and get back to that. I'm going to get a bunch of these blocks going. I've got to make some more, and then we'll tear these up. Shouldn't take too long. So there you go. We get a peek at what this looks like with that material on both sides. So what we need to do now is just kind of run through the rest of this and bring it right up to the edge of the rooms. Something like this. We go bust up all this concrete that we so lovingly laid down. Now maybe I'll leave that one. We'll see what happens when we come back here. We could leave this kind of entryway that way. That way if you're kind of coming back, it's a little bit more apparent that that's the exit. But we'll see. We may end up just doing it all around, and there I'm taking out chunks of the wall accidentally. Let's go ahead and break all this down. Cool. So that gets us to that point. I'm going to drag this stuff through. Now we still need to furnish this place. I know we talked last time about what was going to go where. I still haven't figured any of that stuff out. I haven't really thought much about it since previously talking about it. Still plenty of things we could do. There we go. Cool, that gets our material in there. Now, one of the things I do know that I want to get laid down at some point is chests, because I'm carrying a number of materials right now. I threw a bunch out, just out on the ground. So I'm kind of thinking that I need to get some chests going so I can store a bunch of stuff. And I like the idea of having it here in this main entryway so that if I were kind of nearby up top, I could just drop in and grab it versus having to run between rooms and to reorganize inventory. I would just drop down and it would be right here. So I think we'll probably make some chests and maybe line them up in this room somewhere, maybe just along one wall. I'm not entirely sure just yet. But let's kind of take a look at the next step here and see about the support column. So what I thought I would do is I would start with the corners and see how we could like line things up. Do I only have one block in here? What's going on here? Doesn't want to let me drag this up for some reason. Might be because there's material there. I don't know. Let's do... Nope. So that corner right there matches up, which is great. The thing is, not all of these are going to match up. I know some of the rooms just... I think this is actually one of the examples. Oh, maybe this one does line up. Well, I know that at least the room... Oh, running into the wall here. This guy doesn't match up. You can see that the ceiling above... Am I wrong again? Oh, maybe this does line up. I thought one of these... Ah, here we go. So we're not lining up here. This wall is not going to line up with the floor here. And do we go outside on this one too? We do. And part of me is thinking I could extend the room by one, or the floor. It's kind of extend the floor out by one or bring the ceiling in by one. We have 3 blocks here. I can't remember if that matches up over here. Yeah, okay. So maybe what I'll do is I'll bring the ceiling in to match. So that means that we would be putting down, let's see, some material here. And you can see that it actually goes back here a ways too. We need to rethink this. I knew that it was uneven, that I was coming into this room farther for the before starting the flooring for the room than the other side, at least I think by a block or two. So anyway, I'm going to have to think about that. I'm kind of thinking that we bring the floor back to this point. Let's see, something like this. Here, here, and do that. Cool. So basically bring it back, match this up. We would tear this out and bring this guy in to match. Something along those lines. I think that's going to be... the way to go. Let's go ahead and bust up the other side here. Got a whole lot to do here. So much work. Weem's hasty construction is causing new plans to be made. Delaying the project. This is terrible. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fix this up to get it to match and everything. I think I'll match this side as well. Then we can continue on our way. Okay, with all the flooring in here, the caution kind of tape look, I'm kind of revisiting the look here. As I mentioned, I was going to leave this as is to see what I thought, but I don't know, it doesn't quite match. So I think we're going to bust this out and replace it. Let's see, was it 5? Nope, 3. 3, there we go. Bring this in there, bring that in there. Cool. We'll just keep it all uniform right up to the walls there. Now I also went through and adjusted this room, so it's kind of deeper than normal because I basically brought the floor back a bit, but that's fine. I don't need the rooms to be identical as much as it can tweak my goal of wanting everything to be symmetrical, but anyway, we're not going to worry. We're going to try not to worry too much about that. I'm going to try to keep my focus away from that. So we've got a bit of a longer room here, which is fine. If I run over here into what I'm calling the dark room, you can see that it's a little bit shorter. But we do have the support beams in, and those, you know what, they are looking pretty good. So I'm very glad you recommended that. Recommended that I do that, Gelmeron. I appreciate that. So yeah, this is looking pretty cool. In this room as well, we've got that. Now, it's pretty basic, but I do like that. I do like that we have the natural walls going on, and I do agree it helps it quite a bit, getting the support beams in there. That it kind of connects the two instead of being these separated entities. Now it really feels like it's got some structure. And I could certainly do the same in here. You know, we could bring a block down, but that would make this kind of a very thin walkway to go through, very similar to this. But I actually like this here because it's kind of like, well, you're stepping into the bunker. This is the solid, secure structure, so I don't necessarily need it for some of this other stuff. So anyway, we're going to leave it for now. But yeah, I think this is looking pretty sweet. I think the next thing we need to do is probably work on some lighting. Now, as you can see, I've got some in here. I threw like a lantern up there. I've got a torch on the ground. I think I went down here and made some wall-mounted torches. Yes. You can see we dug down a little bit from here. Dug down some more. I think I had one more light. There we go. One more light down there. So we have all kinds of different lights, but I think what we want to do is maybe get those lamps in here. I think that might be kind of cool. So let's go ahead and, yeah, you can see we've got these guys in here. Actually, you know what? I think I went with these because the light from the other lamps was kind of square, flat lamps. Wasn't putting off the kind of light I liked in here, so maybe we will just stick with those for now. So I decided to try swapping the lamps in here instead of the lanterns, and I think it works out pretty well. I think I had only tried like one before, so anyway, we're going to roll with this. I did replace the hanging lantern that was up here, so let's go ahead and step into the dark room, which is looking much lighter now that it's light outside. And we're going to get lights in each of the rooms, but I want to keep things pretty uniform. I don't know about trying to center these, trying to walk into the middle and center these, so I'm almost thinking that I do them in the front corners initially, because I don't have enough. I don't know if I have enough to put 4 in every room right now. Could obviously go make more. These are very easy because you can just make them without any materials. So yeah, I think the 2 will work right up front. That's kind of cool. We'll just do that in each room here. Something like this. And we'll also pick up the other lights. For example, grab the torch here. Let's see, scoop you up, bust you up. Okay, do the same in this room. So I think what's going to be next is making the chests. I mentioned before I'm carrying around all these materials. I don't really want to do that. I've got to have a place to dump things. So I think that's the next step, is to go ahead and make probably a few of those. Maybe like 2. I think 2 will hold quite a bit. And we'll just drop those down here, you know, near the ladder perhaps. Again, just easy access, so we can just kind of jump down there and get them really quick. Let's see, chests. Are they in here? I don't recall. Yes. Chests, we got a couple different kinds. I could do barrels. I did that in the last series just to be different, because I assume that people kind of always do chests, but the barrel was kind of fun. Maybe we'll do the barrel. We'll do the barrel again. So what kind of materials we have here? Let's see, we could do a darker. That, the room is pretty light. Let's go with something like this. We'll see what this looks like. Oh, we do have to have lumber for these guys. That's right. So let's go ahead. Let's see. I forgot if you can do that here. Just jump here really quick. Lumber. Can't really do that many, it seems. Probably have to go gather some more, but I don't know. That might be enough. Let's go ahead and try this really quick. Barrel. Yes, we can make 1 of these. Yes, because it requires 16, right. You know, 1 is fine. 1 will hold plenty. There's plenty of space in here, and I'll make more if need be, but let's go ahead and get this dropped in. If I can hop down this hole. Now, Gelmaron was saying in his video that with a hole like this, and he was able to step right into his very easily. There we go. Slid down that time, but I've been finding it pretty difficult to consistently descend a ladder even with the opening that large. So I may end up making that a little bit bigger. But I think what we could do is we could just put this right behind the ladder. I could just stick it in a corner. Oh, this is me trying to be symmetrical again. I've centered this back here. I could put the barrel right under it. could put it here. I can't put it here because it'll block the door. I don't want to block the ladder. Or, Weem, you could let go of your need to have things be symmetrical. We could just stick it in this corner. Of course, you know what that means is I'll actually make another one, put it over here, but that's okay. For now, we can pretend. So I'm going to go ahead and drop off the light stuff that I have in here because I'm not really using that. I don't need the extra ladder right now. May or may not need the sticks. Could probably just hold on to the rest of this stuff. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'll be making some more blocks, so I'll need this. I don't know that I need the dirt right now for filling in. I've pretty much filled in what I've needed, so I think that's cool. And yeah, the barrel's definitely, one is definitely good for now. So I think we'll leave it at that. Okay, so one of the ideas I mentioned a while back was bringing in or setting up some kind of ventilation system. So I've made some materials. I think we're going to give this a shot. So I actually need to switch these in. I think something like this. I even made a grate, although I'm not sure I'm going to use it because of this block. So let's see. I think, without looking, which one was it? I think it was the 4 block, yes. So I thought, I don't want to move ventilation, actually like dig through the stone and like lay everything out. But I want it to look like these have a ventilation system coming in. So I'm going to kind of pick a spot and do it in a similar location in every room. Which is to say all 3 rooms. Every room. Well, I guess we'll count the bunker, so that's 4. But trying to think if I want to have this come down from the ceiling. I'm kind of thinking no. I think what we'll do is we'll have it pop in from not here, but kind of over one and down one from there. Something like this. Do this, this. So it looks like, that kind of looks like the ventilation system, right? And then I've got this block here. I was kind of thinking something like that. Because it's got that kind of great look to it, kind of, or vent kind of look to the end of it. Although you would only expect it on one side. But you know what? Hey, maybe this is some cool filtration system for all we know. We got to use our imaginations. But I think what I'm going to do is break that off. Let's see what this looks like. I was in the 3 slot. You can see I did get this vent. Okay, so let's go ahead and place this here and see what it looks like. If I can keep it right there. So that actually looks pretty good. I thought, well, it's not going to be black behind the vent, so it's going to look like it goes nowhere. But that's actually hardly noticeable because it's up above us a little bit. If we step back here, we could see inside. But that's not that. It doesn't look that obvious. So I think that's actually kind of cool. So let's do more of that. So we're looking at 4 and 3. So I did it on that side. So we're going to do the same over here. It's going to be something like right there. And I'm kind of doing it, bringing it in too. So we'll do this. He gets hushed, lining up the vent. Can he place it without shaking? I'm a little off there. See, it's kind of moved down a little bit, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about it, Weem. We're going to move on. Now here we kind of have an option. Because I did the, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's go on this side for this room. Something like that. And we're going to need to rotate this a bit. Let's see. Are they actually angled? I think it is actually a little bit. Okay, something like this. Once again, everybody quiet, holding our breath. There we go. Cool. So now we've got this kind of ventilation looking system. Of course, we want to come in and do it in here as well. How do we want to do this? I might bring it in from the top or something. That might be kind of cool. I could center it, but if I'm going to have it come in... Well, you know what? I could just have it come in 1 in here. I don't have to bring it in 2 blocks. And if I can just line this up here. Okay. So there we go. Now we've got a cool ventilation system, or what looks like one. Although, I guess you would almost expect to see it pop out the other side over here. But who knows? You know what? It went up and it goes in somewhere. It disappears. And it takes air from somewhere and brings it down here. That's good enough. Good enough for me. Okay, well I think that's going to just about do it, but though I do want to show you one other thing before we go. And actually show you the poster stuff, because while I've been showing you the results of using the poster graphics, I haven't really shown you the graphics in work. So we're going to try and, there we go, get right down, jump right down the hole. And I thought I would put something down in here. just for fun. So let's see, I've got the poster selected, so if I go to 5 now, I have it selected, and let's see, if I left click, you can see that this is kind of the screen for choosing our options. A custom image, we can choose to upload an image, or we can cycle through some of the things I've used. So you can see there's the camera. I actually had one with a grid and then changed it. But these are the pieces for the camera and all of that. So anyway, we can hit upload. It's going to jump into my directory of thumbnail images for my videos. For example, you can click on any of these and see the graphic over here that would be used. So these are all thumbnail images for videos. So if I go ahead and scroll all the way down here, get all the way down to past all the RimWorld stuff, we got Rising World Bunker Episode 1, the bunker base. So I thought it would be cool to use this somewhere, kind of like a painting, just kind of put it on the wall, because that's what we are currently watching. That's what's happening in this. This is the bunker base run. So we've got to shrink this a bit, kind of try to get the ratio right. You know, something in here is probably good. We'll go ahead and roll with that. And let's see, where do we want to put this? I've already got one here. I took down Action Gene's comment, so I could put it on this wall here on the side. Maybe that's the way to go. Something like, yeah, right in here ought to work. Cool, so there we go. We have the Rising World Bunker Base Episode 1 thumbnail image. So I could go through and do them all. That might be kind of cool to kind of line them up along the wall here. Might be fun as we go. But anyway, I think we'll leave it at that for now. I just wanted to show you how the poster thing worked, just how easy it was. It's very cool. And yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. We got a lot done today, and I hope you guys come back for episode 5 when we start looking at probably furnishing this place a little bit more. Thanks once again for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time.